Hey, all right, so welcome. We've got more content for you today, so we're going to get right to it. It's almost this. Most of you probably already know our next speaker. I mean, I've been around the hosting industry for, like 18 years, and he's one of the first guys I bumped into here. He's almost a celebrity in this space, so I'm not even going to waste any more time talking myself. Please welcome Igor Seletskiy, CEO of CloudLinux.
Hello, everyone. I got my slides. That's good. Lights in my eyes as well. So, all good. Hello, everyone. So today I will talk about WordPress some more. That seems to be what we're talking all the time these days, and what we're focusing on for the past about 18 months. And I think that's what we will be focusing on for the next 3 years as well. So, a lot of you are in WordPress hosting. We started as a shared host, dedicated host, managed host, and today we're serving customers with WordPress. So what does it mean to be a good WordPress host? What does it mean to be the best in the game, and where is key points that your customers want from you as a host today? So there is two major things that we need to understand about WordPress ecosystem, and I don't know if you've been yesterday at my talk, but I'll show the slide again. 70% of all websites on top of CloudLinux servers are WordPress. 90% of all CMS systems are WordPress. The WordPress ecosystem is absolutely huge, close to 500 million websites. 50,000 plugins for WordPress have been developed and available, and the most popular theme for WordPress made more than $30 million. So the amount of money in WordPress space is absolutely huge, and that's why all of you are providing WordPress hosting and want to be the best WordPress host there is. So, two things that customers want. One is security. Security, we've been addressing it with Imunify360. We started with Imunify360 as #1 security product for shared hosts. Today, we realize that shared hosts don't care about best security product for shared host. They care about best security product for WordPress. So that's what we did. We focused strongly on malware scanning. So you have a terabyte or 2 terabyte disk drive, you need to scan it every day. Yes, you do, and we can deliver that. We have customers scanning every day 2 terabyte drives. Our scanning engine absolutely incredibly fast. We invested a lot to make it that fast. It also is the most comprehensive security scanner technology for websites. We detect significantly more than any other product on the planet for websites. Once again, if you want to protect your Windows box, buy Symantec or Trend Micro. If you need to protect your websites or your customers' websites, we have the best technology there is to detect malware on the websites. Commercial antiviruses like Trend Micro cannot detect even a quarter of the malware that we can detect. It's a real-time scanner, it's a batch scanner, but it also cleans the website. So we can find malware, we can remove the malware from existing files, we can figure out if it was injection and remove just the injection. We do all that, and we do it inside databases as well. So today what we see is that 30% of infections are in databases. Some of them end up in cache files, and that's where you see them, but most of them are inside of the database. So it's incredibly important to be able to detect it inside database, and it is incredibly important to be able to clean it out of database. We can deliver that. Next one is Web Application Firewall. So we've done a lot on the Web Application Firewall, capture, of course. We have a splash screen, we have all that stuff, we have IP-based firewall, but Web Application Firewall is significantly more important. It was actually quite nice to know just how good we've got. I had a customer coming to me yesterday who basically said that, you know what, we no longer tell our customers that they have outdated plugin because it generates a lot of support requests for us. When they come back, we know that your firewall will prevent it against the infection. So yes, we will prevent outdated plugins. We will prevent WordPress. We know about them. We monitor it. We detect them. We can detect zero-day vulnerabilities as well and build protection against them as well. So that's quite major to protect against all those CVEs, but it's not the most popular way WordPress getting hacked. As funny as it is, most infections come in through brute force passwords, stolen passwords, weak passwords. We have absolutely incredible defense against that. We can analyze patterns of brute forcing. We can analyze when someone already have a stolen password. We can prevent someone who has a correct password to WordPress from using this password, yet your customers will still be able to log in and will be fine and will not generate a support ticket. Overall, we are very much against support tickets. We know that support tickets cost you dearly. We know you hate them. So we are very careful to make sure that we protect your customer sites extremely well without generating support tickets for you. So the third and extremely important part is our proactive defense. So on top of the proactive defense, which is basically a module for PHP that looks at the flow and finds dangerous signatures, heuristics, and protects against that. It allows us to detect and protect against zero-day vulnerabilities. More than that, we have what we call autoimmunity. So imagine there is a vulnerability that we don't know about, and hacker is able to inject something through that vulnerability. Well, we have real-time malware scanners that will detect it and remove the malware, so no harm done. Well, actually, it's not that simple. Hacker will try 30 different variations of that malware until they bypass the malware scanner. But what we do, because we have a proactive defense, we actually can find the chain, the flow of execution for PHP, link it to this malicious file and say, okay, this flow of PHP should never execute for this URL ever again. So we'll automatically patch a hole in WordPress on first infection so that hackers cannot retry and reinfect the site. Each time they're able to get in, they're locked out right away and the site becomes more protected. So we have the best in class, absolutely best defense in the industry for WordPress sites. Now let's talk about speed. That's another question that probably your support have to deal with. My site is slow, my time to first byte is more than a second, how can I solve it? And quite often what you'll tell them, well, let's give you more resources, let's move you to a managed WordPress. The reality is that it's not as simple. For some sites it will solve the problem, but for quite a big percentage of sites it will do absolutely nothing. And the problem is that sometimes it's the queries that are too slow, sometimes it's a plugin that is slow, and just throwing more resources to it will not help. What we actually found that majority of cases are actually not bound just by CPU, but also by things like shortcode usage in the templates or external codes to the slow resource. That's why we developed Php X-Ray that pinpoints right away that, hey, this particular shortcode is what delays your website by 0.2 seconds. That query is what adds another 0.5 seconds to your page load time. So today already, if you are using CloudLinux Plus, you have that, you could have used it, but probably you know that the main problem with it that customers have to come to you, you have to start profiling, you have to figure out, well, once you start profiling, you have to wait and trigger that slow page load, and only after that you know what caused it. So that's just too long. What we added recently is Php X-Ray, where we automatically detect that the site is somewhat slow. We will run profiling on that site, on that URL, on that page, and if we detect something that is actionable, something that you can actually change to improve the performance of the website, we will let you know. We are not telling it to customers yet, we're only telling it to admin, and it's automated, it's like notification, but we will let you know how you can improve your customer site. And it is a big deal because if you will be proactive about improving performance of your customer sites, they'll stick around. But it's still halfway. That's not where we're going. Where we're going is smart advice, meaning something actionable that your customers can do. So for now, we have just a small number of smart advice, but it's very actionable, exact advice, sometimes as simple as click a button advice that will solve the problem for your customer. So number one that we're doing is a WP Rocket-based plugin. It's a single install plugin, but the benefit here is that we can detect that the customer doesn't run any other caching plugin, and we will offer to install Accelerate WordPress plugin on customer behalf. Then we have object caching. With object caching, there is a problem that only 6 to 8% benefit from it. Majority of people don't. So we will only offer it to those 6 to 8%. And once again, one click, they have it. That's the idea. Same idea with the shortcode caching. First of all, you can't cache shortcodes, but more importantly, you need to know which shortcodes, you need to know how to cache them, session-based caching, what's the time to life, and that's what we do, that's what we deliver. One click, shortcodes are cached only for those where it will improve performance. So that's basically it. We want you to be better than WordPress engine, Pagely, Kinsta, best WordPress hosting on top of CloudLinux with the use of Imunify. Thank you.